Pete Hegseth's nomination to head the Pentagon is one of the most controversial and unqualified appointments we've seen in modern American history. After 13 years as a weekend anchor on Fox and Friends, Hegseth has now been thrust into the confirmation spotlight. Let's examine why this right-wing Christian nationalist, who was banned from participating in the Biden inauguration due to concerns about his extremist ties, is profoundly unfit for this role, and yet appears poised to secure confirmation. A resume of unfitness. Hegseth's record is a litany of failures, scandals, and extremist rhetoric. While he served as a major in the military, his qualifications to lead the Department of Defense, which commands a $3 billion budget and oversees 2 to 3 million personnel, are non-existent. His military service, while commendable for its valor, does not prepare him to manage one of the most complex institutions in the world. Since leaving active duty, his career has been defined by media appearances and mismanagement. Hegseth's tenure at two veteran-focused nonprofits ended in disgrace. Reports indicate he mismanaged funds and was effectively ousted. Allegations include public intoxication, infidelity, and even sexual misconduct. Among the most damning accusations is a settled rape allegation and an incomplete FBI background check that raises serious red flags. How does such a candidate even make it to the confirmation table? The mega machine at work. Donald Trump's strategy is clear: push through controversial nominees to test the loyalty of Senate Republicans and MAGA-aligned Democrats. The first domino is Senator Joni Ernst, whose support for Hegseth signals that the nomination will likely proceed. Ernst, a sexual assault survivor and military veteran herself, was once seen as a potential bulwark against Hegseth. However, intense pressure from Trump's MAGA base and dark money organizations like the Heritage Foundation appears to have swayed her. Ernst's capitulation is emblematic of a larger issue: the MAGA movement's stranglehold on the Republican Party. Activist veterans waving flags and mounting social media campaigns have worked in tandem with shadowy trolls and foreign disinformation campaigns to coerce and intimidate dissenters. Ernst's reversal demonstrates how this machine operates, a chilling preview of what's to come if figures like Hegseth are placed in positions of power. Hegseth's ideology, a dangerous crusade. Hegseth's writings and public statements reveal a dangerous, far-right worldview. His Christian nationalist agenda includes rolling back women's roles in the military and fostering an apocalyptic crusade against liberals and Democrats. He has openly supported the idea of a civil war and a militarized campaign to silence political opposition. Women, in particular, stand to lose under Hegseth's leadership. His opposition to women in combat and leadership roles stems from his deeply entrenched belief in male dominance. This misogyny isn't just rhetorical, it's reflected in allegations of verbal and physical abuse against women, including high-profile accusations of sexual misconduct. The confirmation process, a foregone conclusion? Despite his glaring deficiencies, Hegseth's confirmation seems increasingly likely. The Senate Armed Services Committee, now heavily influenced by MAGA Republicans, appears ready to greenlight his nomination. The Democratic opposition, while vocal, has struggled to mount a unified front. Senators like Elizabeth Warren, Tammy Duckworth, and Jack Reed have asked tough questions, but their efforts have not been enough to sway the committee. The real disappointment lies with Ernst. Once seen as a potential ally in blocking Hegseth, her recent public statements suggest she has gotten right with his nomination. Her rationale? Hegseth's military service and his image as a warrior. But as critics have pointed out, Hegseth's warrior image is more cosmetic than substantive, a product of his media career rather than any real accomplishments in public service or defense strategy. Trump's obsession with optics. Trump's fascination with Hegseth is no secret. The former president has a penchant for elevating individuals who fit a certain aesthetic: polished, telegenic, and central casting material. Hegseth fits the bill, but his lack of substantive qualifications underscores the hollow nature of Trump's decision-making. This isn't about governing, It's about loyalty and appearances. Implications for national security. The prospect of Hegseth heading the Pentagon is alarming. His lack of experience and extremist views could destabilize one of the most critical institutions in the U.S. government. With a history of mismanagement, allegations of criminal behavior, and a divisive ideological agenda, Hegseth poses a clear threat to national security. Equally concerning is the precedent his confirmation would set. If someone as unqualified as Hegseth can lead the Pentagon, what does that say about the future of U.S. governance? The erosion of meritocracy in favor of partisan loyalty undermines the very foundations of American democracy. What's next? Hegseth's nomination is just the beginning. Trump's broader strategy includes installing loyalists like Pam Bondi as Attorney General. Bondi, another polarizing figure, has spent her career defending Trump and promoting election denialism. Together, Hegseth and Bondi represent a concerted effort to reshape American institutions in the image of the MAGA movement. The coming weeks will be critical. The Senate floor vote will likely fall along party lines, with a MAGA-controlled majority tipping the scales in Hegseth's favor. For Democrats and pro-democracy Republicans, the challenge is clear. Fight back against the normalization of extremism and incompetence in high office. This fight is far from over. It's up to engaged citizens, lawmakers, and watchdog organizations to hold the line. The stakes couldn't be higher. The question isn't just whether Hegseth will be confirmed, it's whether the principles of democracy, accountability, and merit will survive the onslaught of MAGA politics.